Hello, I'm Lacey Shrum. I am the founder of SmartKX, and thank you so much for joining us on our October demo day. This will be a quick 20-minute overview of SmartKX, what we're doing over here, the product that we currently use to help advisors optimize their revenue, and we'll field a few questions at the end if there is time. And with that, we will get started. So at SmartKX, we are a system built for comprehensive fee management for RIAs. So not only do we calculate AUM fee billing, which we do a great job at, we also perform the other ancillary pieces of fee billing. So we started with the documentation. All the fee calculations need to both live in the calculation system, but they also need to be documented and disclosed to clients. So we do both of those things. You are able to input the fee schedule, use it to calculate it, put that fee schedule into the client agreement, and send for notice or signature. So this solves a lot of regulatory issues, but it also makes client onboarding and updates of fees, changes, and structures just much more seamless. One, they get done. We found a lot of advisors weren't changing fee schedules, weren't updating agreements, simply because the operational process was just too lengthy. So these things are actually getting done, and they're getting done very quickly and easily. That data is easily transferred to the actual fee calculation system. We also calculate AUM fees. We can handle all the traditional methods of calculations, and we've recently introduced a new feature called Smart Recon that is specifically for advisors calculating fees on a quarterly in advance basis. In building SmartKX, we found that this type of method, although extremely popular in our space, presents a lot of complications and really risk. The firm's revenue is dependent on 4 market days per year. Clients, of course, and the markets, of course, happen between those days of the year. Uh, Accounts get increase, decrease, the market moves, the market may take a tumble. Um, and advisors are only dependent on 4 market days. So we've added our Smart Recon, which does a look back reconciliation. Advisors are able to maintain their billing in advance while also doing the reconciliation, extend their coverage to all market days per year, capture any in and outflows for clients, and just overall have much easier and less stressful conversations with clients about fees because this process is so transparent and so buttoned up. Then our third piece of revenue is that we give our users a dashboard that gives them analytics for their revenue system. So things like what your average client AUM is, what your average client spend is, and then getting more into the exciting capabilities of is your average blended rate, what money are you leaving on the table, how much could you increase your revenue if you did certain things. So some really nice KPIs and goal setting tools for advisors to move from a practice to a business. And then, of course, when those fee schedules need to be updated, we come back around to the documentation. You're able to execute any changes, not only in the system to calculate differently, but also send those documents to clients for signature and notice. So with that, we will hop into the app. So we have our client agreement set up here. We have data that comes in either from a custodian, from a data warehouse. We get those on a nightly file. And you'll see that we have different clients with fee structure set up, our traditional quarterly in advance, the accounts, the fee schedules, and then one on a different fee schedule and who those accounts bill to. This can be super customized based on your business or your individual clients. We can get down into position types and positions, pull those out, and apply different fee schedules. And of course, our billing cadence, schedules, and values can all be adjusted based on your individual business. When you are ready to run billing, you can do it either individually or you can check all, hit bulk invoice. We'll just use last quarter's values, hit calculate. This is going to give you an overview of the revenue that you are calculating, how many clients you have, the revenue expected. It will also produce a report that will give you any alerts. So things like zero balance accounts, accounts that have delinked, accounts that don't have enough cash to cover the fees that are calculated, anything that you would need to know. And we found RIAs were checking for before they ran billing. We give you those alerts so you can proactively address those before you go to collect your revenue. This, of course, decreases the amount of time it takes to bill, but also the time to collect your revenue. So you can generate the report here. We're going to generate the billing. And just like that, we've generated the different billing invoices. You can click each individual and see in-depth detail about the account setup, the values, the resulting fees. And then, of course, you can download the fee file to send to the custodian. You can also download individual invoices that are customized and branded for your firm. And if you are required or you do send out your invoices to clients, you can simply hit send to clients, and this will disclose all those fee calculations to each individual client by email. So that covers our billing capabilities. We also have the ability to finalize and send client agreements. We were told by RIAs that when they are bringing on new clients or when another advisor had joined their firm, actually getting those agreements to the client to sign and moving that data into their calculation system could take up to 3 months. So that is a process that we have significantly streamlined. So if you have an individual new client prospect that says, I want to become a client, you can go up here and hit new client. This will pull up a modal to, you can type in their information. Your docs are already loaded, including your client agreement, that you can drop in what agreement you want to use, the fee schedule you want to include, any notes. Prospect says yes, you say, great, we're so excited to have you. Come in here, do those few clicks, hit submit. Hey, prospect, check your email. Let's walk through the client agreements. You've already crossed all the regulatory requirements. That prospect has an agreement in his or her inbox that he or she can sign immediately while you're on the phone. So instead of getting off the phone with a prospect who has just said yes, and you say, great, we'll get you the paperwork later, you've actually converted them right then and there to a client. So that's a really cool feature if you're bringing on individual prospects. If you are bringing on a book of business, we're able to send that information in bulk to send out the client agreements. Your client agreement filled with client-specific information, including the fee schedule in that agreement for signature. We also produce the client-specific disclosures. This is something that is included on the back of the client agreement, or you can send these individually. A lot of users do this to mitigate the risk of the client's notice and the actual fees not being connected. You can easily mitigate that risk with SmartKX. You can simply hit send to client, and these disclosures will be sent and your client notified. Lastly, we'll look at our data insights that we're just rolling out for users. And this is going to show you the health of your business. So It's going to tell you numbers that we asked advisors, what numbers are you calculating by hand that are hard to generate if you don't have a system that's collecting all of them for you. And that's how we built each one of these cards. Advisors use this to review their business, probably set goals as we move into the new year, and just gauge where new clients will fit in to their existing business. And of course, do some client segmentation here as well. So you'll see if you're using Smart Recon, this will give you a dollar amount of the additional revenue that Smart Recon has collected for you. The number of clients you have, their total AUM, the last collected revenue, your average client AUM, your overall billing rate. So for every dollar that comes in, how much are you billing on it? This is a really important number we're finding to gauge advisors' overall business health. Usually this number is lower than advisors expect. And so seeing that and understanding how new clients will fit into there when perhaps they're negotiating fees or what existing clients need to move to pull that up, we can show you that information. And then, of course, we can go through a simple amend the fee schedule, send the agreement for signature. So that process of adjusting is really fast. Your average client spend, how much they're spending with you every year, how many assets have a no bill fee schedule on them. This is also very surprising. So this is a great number to look at and kind of keep in check of how many assets am I responsible for? They're coming through on my master, but I'm not billing on. And then, of course, any unassigned assets. So assets that maybe are new, aren't in a fee schedule, aren't in a relationship. They're kind of sitting out there, but also are not being billed on. Those two numbers are here. And then how much money you're leaving on the table. So your no bill assets, your unassigned assets multiplied by your overall billing rate is usually a really surprising number for advisors, just because as everyone does, we overestimate our rate and we underestimate how much we're not charging on. And this will give you a good indication of how much revenue is out there for you to possibly collect. And then, of course, Smart Recon, our reconciliation tool. We are seeing advisors right now, our 18-month average is increasing revenue by just under 2% a year. So pretty significant number if you implement that type of billing procedure. Now, one last thing, if you are interested in these types of numbers, we do have a free tool at metrics.smartkx.io where you can plug in your own numbers and you can get these cards. Of course, we don't have full details on this. This is a public, you don't log in or anything, you just enter in your information and it will give you these analytics. So if you're interested in seeing what those are for your firm, you can do that here with a DIY method. And if you want to get more in detail, of course, come on over to SmartKX. So that ends our demo today. If you have any other questions, you can email us at sales@smartkx.io. If you're ready to sign up and move forward, you can do that at SmartKX. We are currently onboarding for the December 1 billing and January billing if you are quarterly. So check us out online. We're also active on LinkedIn. And thanks so much for joining us for our demo today.